In a world where truth and fiction blur, Pope Francis's shocking announcement about the Antichrist has sent ripples of fear and uncertainty.
Der Antichrist lebt unter uns.
This isn't just some spooky campfire story. It's a wake-up call straight from the Vatican's top guy. He's saying the ultimate evil, the one we've heard about in hushed tones and seen in nightmares, is walking among us. Right now, everywhere you look, people are freaking out, asking questions, and wondering what's next. It's like standing on the edge of a cliff, looking into a dark, bottomless pit, knowing something's staring back at you. In religious texts, the Antichrist is bad news, the real deal in evil. Think of the worst villain you can imagine, and you've got the Antichrist. He's a smooth talker, tricking people with lies and fake miracles. This guy is supposed to show up before Jesus comes back, causing all sorts of chaos. He's linked with the beast from the Bible and is said to bring a time of great suffering. Now, this isn't just some spooky story. It's taken straight from important religious books like Daniel and Revelation. They paint a picture of a world deceived by a cunning leader. Now, Pope Francis isn't one to shy away from bold statements. But this time, he really stirred the pot by saying the Antichrist is here, right now, among us. This is huge because he's the leader of millions of Catholics worldwide. But here's the kicker. He didn't give us a name or a face. We don't know if he meant it's a person walking around or something more symbolic, like a force of evil in the world. This lack of detail has left everyone guessing and arguing. Some folks are digging into their religious texts, trying to decode his words, while others just roll their eyes, not buying it without solid proof. But for those who take this seriously, it's a wake-up call, like a siren blaring, telling us to watch out for this master of deception. Over the years, people have been quick to slap the Antichrist label on anyone they really don't like. It's like a historical blame game. From ancient Roman rulers to some modern-day leaders, if someone ruffled enough feathers or stood against certain beliefs, boom, they were called the Antichrist. It shows how this term isn't just about some future boogeyman. It's been used to point fingers and stir fear. And it's not always about who's truly evil, but more about who's going against the tide at that time. What if the Antichrist isn't one person but something bigger, like a whole system of bad stuff, greed, hate, you name it? That's what some folks are saying now. It's like the Antichrist is the name we give to everything rotten in our world, the lying, cheating, and all the things that tear us apart. This idea is pretty scary because it means the enemy isn't just one guy we can find and stop. It's everywhere, in the very fabric of our society. When you throw the Antichrist into the mix, it's like tossing a grenade into a room full of people's beliefs. Some folks dive deeper into their faith, clinging to it like a lifeboat in a storm. Others, well, they start doubting everything they've ever believed. It's not just a small shakeup, it's a full-on earthquake for people's beliefs and values. Churches and communities are buzzing with questions and fears. You've got people praying harder than ever, while others are scoffing at the whole idea. It's not just about what you believe, it's about how this belief, or disbelief, starts changing the way people act and treat each other. Now, church leaders are in the hot seat. They've got a tricky job, balancing between calming down their freaked-out followers and sticking to their religious guns. They're like referees in a high-stakes game where everyone's watching their every move. If they say too much, people panic. Say too little, and they look like they're hiding something. It's their responsibility to guide their flocks without causing a stampede. They're digging into scriptures, giving sermons, and trying to be the voice of reason in a time when reason seems to have taken a back seat. They're working overtime to keep the faith alive and kicking, while making sure no one loses their head over this. Turn on the TV or hit the movies, and you'll see the Antichrist is a superstar of the horror and thriller genres. It's like filmmakers hit the jackpot with this character. He's the ultimate villain, mysterious, powerful, and downright terrifying. From books to blockbusters, this figure is everywhere, giving us a good scare and a taste of the dark side. But here's the thing. While these stories are entertaining, they also shape how people see the Antichrist. It's not just a religious concept anymore, it's part of pop culture. And with every movie or show, the line between fiction and belief gets blurrier. So, where do we go from here? Pope Francis's words have opened a can of worms that's not easy to close. We're staring down a road that looks pretty ominous. If the Antichrist is real and here, what does that mean for our future? Are we talking end-of-the-world stuff, or can we fight this evil? It's a question that's got everyone from religious scholars to the average Joe scratching their heads. It's a scary thought, like walking into a dark room and not knowing what's waiting for you. We've got to brace ourselves for what could be the biggest showdown between good and evil the world has ever seen. And in this battle, it's not just about saving our skins, it's about saving our souls. As we stand at this crossroads, Pope Francis's startling declaration about the Antichrist forces us to face our deepest fears. It's like we've been thrown into the deep end, and now it's time to sink or swim. This isn't just about praying harder or looking over your shoulder. It's about confronting the evil that could be hiding in the shadows of our everyday lives. It's a call to action, demanding we strengthen our resolve and stand firm against the darkness that threatens to engulf our world. So, brace yourselves, because this battle isn't in some distant future. It's here and now, and it's real.